October is recognized as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Diana Miller of the Women's Resource Center and I talked about the issue of domestic violence and what it is. When we talk about domestic violence, most people, I guess, think of a spouse and spouse, but it's kind of runs the gamut. It can be spouse and kids, and does it run down to kids versus kids? Is that considered a domestic violence as well, or?
Well,
what's kind of the definition, I guess?
yes, well, it's violence against a family member or someone with whom the person is cohabitating, or even dating violence, is a crime. So intimate partner violence, also even if someone is not necessarily married to or living with a partner, that also is something that's a problem. And again, good for Winona, that Winona State is working on a specific project to address the problems amongst their student body of dating violence, sexual assault, and stalking, which also goes right along with dating violence and domestic violence, because that's the most commonly occurring situation around stalking, is when someone is an ex-partner, or there's a breakup going on, and then stalking behaviors will start. And unfortunately, even sometimes stalking and cyber stalking goes right along with domestic violence when the relationship is still ongoing.
You mentioned cyber, and that just adds a whole another dimension to the problem.
It does, and that's very, very tricky and very hard for intervention, because there's so much that is hard to track and hard to trace that's associated with that. And then that also then spills out into the areas of cyber bullying, and that's particularly difficult with students at not just the university level, but the high school level, where certain individuals are victimized through social media, and there isn't just one perpetrator, but sometimes others will join in with that stalking and harassing and bullying behavior over social media. So all of these problems are connected. They're all social problems. They're all things for us to change about our norms and our culture. And I think that right now particularly is a great time to highlight some of the positive steps that the NFL has taken with working on prevention activities with the players and with all of their employees in their organization, their generous donations to organizations like ours that work with victims of domestic violence, intimate partner violence, and sexual assault, that they're recognizing that only through partnering with the whole system that intervenes can they really effectively prevent these things from happening. So I think that as long as we all seek best practices and positive models of how to say that we don't in our particular community tolerate these kinds of behaviors through everything from law enforcement all the way through the education system and faith communities and everyone who's really involved with anyone else. So friends and neighbors, even things that are that casual, we, I think, can make big differences. Right now, Winona will see in some places the Clothesline Project up through the month of October, and that is a representation through t-shirts that commemorates the Minnesota victims of homicide that are related to domestic violence. In 2013, there were 38 of those homicides in our state, and so far this year there have been 12. So the numbers are down this year, but we really want that to be zero and holding. So it's a good thing for people to go out and see. It's going around to the high schools, and universities all through this month, and we do have some shirts hanging at Fifth and Lafayette at our resource center.
Very good. We're out of time. This is such a subject that needs to be talked about more, so we're going to have you back, and we can discuss a little bit more about our community and efforts being made to stop domestic violence.
Thank you so
All right.
much.
And thank you for the work that you and your organization are doing.
You're welcome. Thanks.